In October 2020, Texas state troopers pulled over 33-year-old Taylor Parker on a dark highway. She was covered in blood and claimed she had just given birth on the side of the road. As first responders desperately tried to save the infant, Parker's story began to rapidly fall apart. Miles away, investigators finally discovered the truth. The baby actually belonged to 21-year-old Reagan Simmons Hancock, who was found murdered in her home. The roadside arrest served as the final act of a meticulously planned 10-month deception. The recent Netflix documentary, Maternal Instinct, brought this case to a massive audience, but the production deliberately bypassed the most disturbing evidence. To spare viewers the gruesome reality, the documentary producers chose to tone down the violence and completely ignore the uncensored trial facts. To understand the psychology of one of Texas's youngest death row inmates, we must examine the chilling details left on the cutting room floor. The crime scene inside Reagan's home revealed an attack defined by extreme violence and massive blunt force trauma. Parker utilized two separate weapons in the pre-planned attack: a claw hammer used for 39 blows and a 4-pound keepsake jar shattered over Reagan's head. Parker also brought a third weapon pre-packed in her bag, a medical scalpel specifically intended to perform the C-section. Following the murder, forensic examiners made a gruesome discovery. The scalpel blade was found lodged deep inside Reagan's neck. The specific choice and packing of these tools identifies the crime as a cold, calculated execution. Back at the roadside traffic stop, Parker's behavior while the baby was fighting for its life exposed her true demeanor. A nurse who stopped to help testified that Parker showed an unusual urgency to wash herself with bottled water rather than tending to the injured child. Parker made gagging noises and stated that the victim's blood disgusted her. Her focus on self-preservation and her physical revulsion at the blood shatter any facade of maternal empathy. This lack of empathy was part of a long history. Following a 2017 divorce, Parker voluntarily signed away custody of her own son to prioritize her romantic relationships. The core of her 10-month lie was a biological impossibility. Parker had previously undergone a hysterectomy. To maintain the illusion, Parker imposed strict rules on her boyfriend, Wade Griffin. She even insisted on pitch-black darkness during intimacy so he could not see her body. She eventually claimed she was at a high risk for a miscarriage to prevent him from touching her alleged baby bump. During the trial, Parker's own mother, Shea Pryor, testified that she knew the pregnancy was physically impossible. When Pryor asked how to handle the lie, Parker bluntly texted her to keep it up. Pryor complied, assuming the facade would eventually expose itself. This network of passive complicity and aggressive manipulation allowed a narcissistic delusion to thrive for almost a year. Recorded jailhouse phone calls between Parker and her mother further expose her state of mind after the arrest. In the recordings, Parker complained about the district attorneys stacking charges against her, showing no remorse for the victims. When her mother begged her to recognize that something was wrong and undergo a psychiatric evaluation, Parker aggressively refused. She dismissively referred to the murder and fetal abduction as just one horrible thing. These calls reveal a psychology defined by a complete, remorseless void. Parker's performance ended with a death row conviction. Today, she is one of the youngest women on death row in Texas. The 2022 trial turned her manufactured reality into a permanent legal record. Reagan Simmons Hancock's death was the endpoint of a 10-month performance by a predator who successfully hid her lethal emptiness behind a mask of normalcy.